IVM.
Ho, ho, ho! Welcome to the Geek Fruit Podcast. This is your host, Santa, and with me is my little elf, Jishnu.
I'm an elf?
You're an elf, Jishnu. I thought we talked about this.
Okay, I could be an elf.
Did you not read? Do you not read my emails, my messages, my WhatsApps? They're always blue ticked.
No, my fax machine was broken. I didn't...
So let's say hello to little elf Jishnu. Hi, Jishnu. Have you been a good boy this year?
I'm very disturbed.
Jishnu, it's me, Dinkar, and we're doing a whole thing. Read my messages once in a while.
That's very... Hi, guys. Okay, so, this week...
Jishnu, if you weren't my best friend, I'd be so mad at you right now.
It seemed appropriate because apparently it's Christmas time. There are other such holidays that are being celebrated worldwide, but you know what? Screw it. We're just going to talk about Christmas because I don't really know of too many Hanukkah movies. Do you?
Hanukkah movies?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Does any movie about Moses count?
Sure.
Yeah. What's the big one about Moses where he parts?
Passion of the Christ.
Oh no.
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. Well, we're doing a movie.
We're going to hell in a handbasket.
Yes, of course. Unless Jesus is happy with us because we did a Christmas episode.
Technically, would every other non-Christmas movie be counted as an agnostic's Christmas movie?
I guess so.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, if you believe in it, Christmas is all year round.
So then I guess Star Wars is a Christmas movie.
Star Wars famously had that holiday special.
It does have the holiday special.
Have you ever seen that?
I've not seen it in its entirety.
Oh, you've seen bits of it? I've only heard the weirdest things about it.
Yeah, exactly. I've just seen like random clips that people have like excerpt for comedic effect.
Right.
When proving their point about, some travesties that Star Wars has made.
But you meet like Chewie's family and stuff, is this true?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Well,
I have zero desire to know more about it, that's all.
I don't care either.
Yeah.
So, the thing is, a lot of Christmassy stuff kind of falls into our space because some of it is in the fantasy-ish zone. Like A Christmas Carol, which there have been a million adaptations of over the years. It's pretty much sci-fi, right? There's 3 ghosts, there's time travel, there's a Scrooge, which we like.
This is true, this is very
from
true.
DuckTales. Or like I'm trying to think of more examples, which I should have thought of, considering this is the Christmas episode. But most of them have like a little trick that happens that, magically changes things on Christmas Day.
Sure.
So, Christmas is kind of in our milieu, isn't it?
In our what?
In our milieu.
How do you spell that?
M-I-L-I-E-U.
Well done.
It's not a high word score because it's mostly vowels, but it's a good one.
That's true. Maybe it's a double word score.
Yeah.
Why
don't you ever respond to my words with friends requests?
Because my fax machine's broken. I told you.
Yeah, okay.
There's only one way to get a hold of me.
I will deal with this.
MTNL just hasn't come by in a while.
Cool. You will hear from my lawyers.
So we're just going to run through a couple of
general Christmassy movies.
Yeah. I'll admit, I haven't seen all that many because I feel like, oddly enough, when I thought about it, the reason that I haven't seen too many in the giant pantheon of Christmas movies you could choose from is because once you find your Christmas movie, you're good.
Yeah,
right?
I guess so.
Am I the only one that has rewatched my Christmas movie of choice every year religiously for the last several, over a decade at this point?
Because it's over a decade old. I know you, Jishnu. Your Christmas movie of choice is Love Actually.
Yeah, there you go.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. Tell us about it. How'd that become your Christmas movie of choice?
It's got the Beach Boys and Joni Mitchell.
True.
So...
It's a
and
perfect
Rowan Atkinson.
Christmas movie, a movie in a million ways.
Yes.
Rowan Atkinson is one of my Christmas movie of choice. Love Actually. Actually, I don't have a Christmas movie of choice, but I feel like pop culturally, the kind of, Western pop culture at least, everything we consume, tends to gravitate towards a Christmassy feel around November and December. Right?
Sure.
So there are movies that keep coming back, but it's the general the general feel of it all, like pop songs that get Christmassy all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like your Beatles classics.
Like your what?
Like Beatles classics. Like Christmas Time Is Here Again.
Oh wow! I thought you meant like a Christmas-sized version of Beatles classics, which was very confusing.
Yes, no. I mean the fact
Like, hey
that
Judas,
everyone.
hey Jesus.
Sure, we should do that. That's a great idea. But I mean the fact that everyone kind of puts out Christmas editions of stuff.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So that's what I like about it. And Rowan Atkinson is a part of one of my favorite versions of that, which is Merry Christmas, Mr. Bean.
That's right. I forgot about that
One
one.
of the best ones. We'll
I
get to
love
that
one.
after
Yeah.
mine.
I love Mr. Bean.
After yours, I mean. So tell me about Love, actually.
What is to tell?
What is to tell?
Whenever I get gloomy about the state of the world, I think about the arrivals gate at Heathrow Airport, etc., etc.
It's touching.
It's quite touching.
Have you literally watched it every year? Like as a Christmas ritual?
No, I'll tell you when it became a thing. It just became a thing when I was living in the States when I went to college, and I was in Wisconsin, which is basically like the North Pole.
Right.
So it became me and my friends' first snow movie. So like on the day of the first snow, that was our thing.
Nice.
And it remained that way since like 2007, I guess. And yeah, and then it became, I was like, all right, I'm good. I don't need any more. I'm also very, I don't want to say, I don't like to overdo the Christmassy stuff too much. I really enjoy Christmas. I mean, I'm agnostic, so it's not like I have any, stake in it,
It's
other
not
than
a
the good
religious
vibes.
I mean, of course, it's a religious festival, but it's not purely a religious festival at this point. It's a cultural experience.
Completely. It's just a reason to be happy
Yeah.
and to express joy, which is I'm all up for. So as much as I really like Christmas, I don't like to watch too much of it. I don't like to like listen to too much Christmas music. Like I sort of like, trickle it out. Like spread it out like in little bits and pieces. I don't want to like overdo it because it's very easy to get like 2 cheese balls and just like shoving it down your throat.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Because it is
but-
everywhere. Like you don't have to like go looking for it. That's the other thing. It's like
Yeah,
I'll
I
keep
will agree with you
stumbling
there.
upon like random things and like everything, like you said, gets Christmasified around that time of
Yeah.
year. Like every like I don't know, like every live show of any kind, be it like a late night show, be it like interviews, be it any kind of concerts, be it anything,
They
will
get Christmassy.
inevitably have, friggin'
I
jingle
love
bells.
that.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
But so because that happens without me asking for it, I don't find myself really ever
Seeking it out,
Seeking
right?
it out, yeah. I
That's
have my
true.
one fix. I get my Love Actually going. It's good, and I'm set for the next 12 months.
Yeah, I think you're good. I don't have a ritual that I would perform either, but
Yeah.
I love how the atmosphere kind of changes. Like you said, every late night show, like Jimmy Fallon's just started doing his whole 12 sweaters of Christmas
Right,
thing.
yeah. Ellen just finished her thing.
Those are the funnest things, right?
Yeah,
It just
they're
feels
really fun.
like
Yeah, there's
everyone's really happy.
Yeah, I'm
which
all
is
up for it. I
nice.
just don't need to go find more.
There's Jishnu,
Hello.
as your best friend, are you afraid of feeling joy?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm afraid of feeling too much joy, too much of a good thing, right?
Why?
Too much of a good thing. I don't want to get like burnt out on too much Christmassy stuff. I'm very what's the word? What's the word?
Scared to feel.
No. What's the word? Damn it. There is a word. I would use it if I could think of it.
Maybe if you played Words with Friends, it would be more. Okay, cool. So, Love Actually. Merry Christmas, Mr. Bean. Have you seen that?
Of course.
It's a great one. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorite Mr. Beansy things, and it typically always comes back, or it used to come back into rotation on the channels I would watch when I was a kid around Christmas time. So it's great, and it's got like, I've seen a lot of jokes, but it's got one of my favorite jokes of all time, which profoundly impacted my life and pretty much all the decisions I've taken so far, which is Mr. Bean is with his girlfriend on the streets, and they pass this ring store. And his girlfriend kind of like taps him on the shoulder and goes like,
right.
obviously because he can't talk. And Mr. Bean looks at him and goes like, duh, I get it. I will do this for you.
Yeah.
Then cut to Christmas morning, and he gives her a picture frame, and she's like, what the is this? And she opens it up, and it's the picture from the window of that ring store of a man giving a woman a ring. And she's just so upset, and she starts sobbing and stuff. And you think, haha, funny joke. But what changed me was that they added a button to it, and I never realized you could put a joke on top of a joke, which is where Mr. Bean goes like, oh, of course she's upset. And he pulls this ring box out of his coat pocket. And I was like, oh my god, he actually got it? Mr. Bean's a smart guy. And even his girlfriend was like, oh, he's doing it. And then she opens it, and it's this little circular piece of metal. And I'm like, it's the ring. And she pulls it out, and it's a hook to hang the painting from. It's the randomest joke, but it's never left my mind. I don't know why.
I love Mr. Bean with all my heart.
It's one of those things that just kind of implants into your memories of Christmas for whatever reason, like Love Actually did. It's also maybe because it's a formative time when you watch it.
Completely.
And it's a very susceptible, sounds like a negative word, but you're very open to this kind of thing around the Christmas season because it's all around you.
What, love or Christmas?
Well, love. Tell me about Home Alone, Jishnu.
Wow,
the entire series.
Nice segue.
Yeah.
What would you like to know about Home and Alone?
Why is it a Christmassy movie for you? Or why is it
why is it a Christmassy movie?
Yeah. As in, like, is it a signifier of the season?
Sure. Because of the fact that it's always on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's pretty obvious, right?
Sure.
They kind of all take place on Christmas.
Yeah. And
I think that answers the why and what for.
But tell me about Home Alone 3, which you were telling me.
Which you have not seen, right?
I have not.
So Home Alone 3 is the one that I thought was most relevant to this list, even though the other two, the previous two, are clearly the movies.
Well, Home Alone obviously is an all-time classic.
Mm-hmm.
Home Alone 2 is really good. I wouldn't say it's a classic. I really enjoyed.
I was rewatching a little bit of it last night, and man, I think it's borderline perfect.
Yeah?
I think that movie is just
I just haven't seen it
the whole way through.
I don't remember it as well. But
you haven't seen it in a while?
Different.
Yeah. I randomly rewatched it like maybe 6 months ago, and I was watching it last night, and it really is. It's such a quick movie where maybe it's just because I've seen it a bunch, as is the case with most of these movies. You know, you get to know them inside out. But I just feel like that movie, Home Alone 2, has like just really solid scenes back to back that are at this point in my head just like etched into my brain.
It's a lot more emotional also, isn't it, than the first one? Like the first one is more or less...
The stakes seem
higher.
There's
a little...
The stakes seem higher.
Yeah, and it's suddenly about like a lot more than just robbers are trying to get in the house and I've got to beat them. Like the first one is mostly like hijinks and slapstick.
Yeah.
And then there's like a sweet little moment when they reunite at the end.
Right.
But the second one is like full feels.
Second one is full feel because I think it might have something to do with the fact that the sticky bandits or the wet bandits, whatever you like to call them, didn't mean to run into Kevin.
Right.
And so they had their own thing going. Kevin had his own thing going. Everything was great. And then the fact that they meet by chance, and then you throw in a Tim Rice and Rob Schneider into the mix, that those three groups, being Kevin, the two bad guys, and then the hotel staff, put them all together. That's just like a really fun trio, which the first movie didn't have.
Yeah.
The first movie was just the two of them versus this guy, and then hilarity ensues with booby traps and the Tom and Jerry-ness of it all, which was great, which is amazing. But yeah, I think the second one is really cool because there's a hell of a lot more to it.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the pigeon lady, remember the pigeon lady?
Yeah.
The pigeon lady, I think, is a far better version than scary old man neighbor with the shovel from the first one.
Yeah.
Because he was creepy AF in the first one.
He was, right?
But the turnaround that happened when you figure out that, spoiler
that he's
alert,
a sweet guy.
that he's a really sweet guy. that was just kind of like, BT dubs, he's not as creepy as you thought. Pigeon Lady, on the other hand, like, have you seen August Rush?
No, I don't think so.
The guitar movie with Robin Williams and the kid that like plays...
Oh, no, I haven't seen this.
So, August Rush is essentially, or rather, I guess, Home Alone 2's Pigeon Lady story is August Rush in like the span of 10 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, it's just, it's some pseudo like hobo looking person who isn't quite a hobo, but just kind of is presented that way to the audience. Turns out to be this really thoughtful, kind, generous person who is looking out for people, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, they basically, I think, used that character a hell of a lot better. And I was far more compelled by Pigeon Lady than I was by Old Shovel Man.
Dude, yeah. And it's a much bigger canvas also.
What do you mean?
Like being lost in New York as opposed to the bottle episode kind of format of the home.
Yeah.
Right?
Though that being said, I guess that was the weak thing about the movie, which I always kind of like, it always loses me for like just a second.
I did feel like that the kind of like big city-ish vibe that they get across is pretty. It's really different from the first one, and I kind of like that about it when I saw
I
it.
like. No, so what I'm getting at, the thing that loses me just the tiniest bit, but it comes back immediately, is the place where he sets up his booby traps. The final bit, the third act, is when he looks up his, I think, dad's address book or something, and he finds like his uncle's address.
Yeah.
And he goes there hoping to be saved, and then they're not at home. So I forget how he breaks in. But he gets into the house, and it's somebody else's house. It's somebody else's apartment that he booby traps. I was just like, that's a little convenient.
Contrived?
A little contrived to me, but it's like just the tiniest
I
bit.
wonder,
like
maybe
I think it's almost a perfect movie.
If they got rid of the booby traps and just did, like, they probably had to do like a repeating the hits situation where they're like, I guess we have to have him do like bigger and better booby traps. So that's probably part of it.
That is exactly how
the
sequels
tell me
continue.
about Home Alone 3.
Okay, so the whole reason why I think that this movie, more so than the other ones, is far more fitting into our little arena is because Home Alone 3 came out sometime in the late 90s, early 2000s, I think. And it's a completely different cast. Completely different.
There's no Macaulay.
There's no Macaulay. Macaulay was only in the first.
Is there a second Culkin? Like,
what do you mean?
Yeah, like one of the other Culkin brothers or something?
Oh God, no. This is some other kid who had that. Do you remember the Jonathan Taylor Thomas haircut?
Yeah.
From Home Improvement, like the mushroom cut, the giant, like
of
your
course.
face looks adorable because your hair is like literally a mushroom.
Yeah.
They should bring those back. Whatever happened to those?
Mushroom cuts?
Yeah.
Oh
like,
Lord, no.
Like Nick Carter was like rocking the hell out of that thing. If he couldn't pull it off, then I guess there's no hope for anybody.
My school had a rule.
What?
Where
No mushrooms?
mushroom cuts were banned, which I think back in the day, most people thought, what are these draconian anti-haircut laws? Why shouldn't people have mushroom cuts? But now I think they were just looking out for us, man. Like,
This is true.
We don't want you to look at pictures of your young self and go like, what was I thinking?
So Home Alone 3 is basically the exact same thing as Home Alone 1, but add in the FBI or something similar to that, like some sort of government agency, I think it's the FBI or the CIA, who are looking out for, instead of like bumbling idiot antagonists, which are the duo, it's for spies.
Oh, the classic duo is not there either.
No, nobody's there. Nothing is familiar other than the setup and the premise of the whole thing.
Oh.
But add on...
It's not the same names then. This isn't Kevin.
Nothing is the same.
Okay.
Nothing is the same. The guy's name is Alex, for one.
What?
The kid's name is Alex.
Ugh.
Yeah. His real name apparently is Alex too. Who would have thunk? Wow. I wonder why.
That's how bad of an actor he was.
Yeah.
At some point the director was just like, you know what? The character is called Alex now.
So it's basically the same kind of premise of kids at home, right? However, instead of like bumbling idiots trying to like break into the house and steal stuff, it's for spies basically who are, on the run from the law, and they've somehow intercepted some Air Force microchip or something like that. It belongs to some military something. And they've stolen it and they've stashed it inside a remote control car, which is a very high, fancy, hi-fi product for the time, right? Like a really big, robust RC car. And the whole plot of the movie is just these guys have a car, they're on a plane, they land at whatever city they're in, New York, I think it is, and somewhere during security check or baggage claim, I forget one of the two, somewhere in the airport, they bump into some lady and the bags get switched. And turns out, wouldn't you know it, lady has the exact same car.
Of course.
And so they find out that, oh no, the thing's missing, we got to find the thing.
This is a spy movie.
This is a spy movie. So much so that the best part's watching it now. Yeah, this movie was literally 20 years ago, 1997. The fancy spy tech that they have is cell phone cameras.
Ooh.
And cufflink cameras.
Cufflink cameras?
It's a camera in your cufflink, which then transmits to your cell phone.
Nice.
Yeah.
So they kind of saw the future there.
I guess, but I mean, like, it's so hokey. It's so hokey that it's amazing.
Nice.
So the entire thing is about how the neighbor of Alex, some old lady, has this car, right? I forget why maybe for her kid, I don't know, whatever. But basically, these four pseudo spies, led by their Eastern European leader,
of course,
have to track down this car. So then they figure out, okay, the car is somewhere on the street. We don't know which house it's in. We have to go one by one, break into every house and find it. And our hero has, I think, the measles or something.
What?
He's home sick.
Oh.
He is home alone and sick.
Okay.
So mom and dad are at work.
At some point, you run out of excuses to have the kid be alone at home.
Yeah, this is just a sick day.
Yeah.
Or several sick days. Mom and dad are at work. Siblings are away at school or whatever. And day by day, this kid is just at home and has a pet mouse.
Uh-huh.
And his brother has a parrot who, repeats everything you tell him, obviously, because parrots have amazing grammar. And as you can imagine, he uses pet rat and he uses parrot to like have fun and do things. He sees these robbers breaking into somebody's house. I'm totally just spoiling the movie right now.
Yeah, sure.
But he sees these robbers breaking into neighbor's house. He calls the police. Police come. The robbers leave just in time. And then the tables are turned. Alex becomes like the neighborhood, no good kid that's, making a big fuss and nobody likes him. Parents are yelling at him. Everything sucks. The world is horrible. But then the robbers come back the next day and Alex sees them again. He's like, well, if nobody's going to believe me, then I'm going to stop these guys because I can see that these guys are up to no good, but I don't know what they're doing, but I'm going to stop them because I'm 10 years old and I can do these things. So the entire movie is the kid proactively stopping for spies from, he doesn't even know what. And then he finds out, oh, they have this car, figures out, oh, there's a microchip in the car. I don't know. I forget how this all happens, but believe me, it happens.
Jishnu, every time, every once in a while,
yes,
something comes up where I say, oh, I haven't seen that movie, tell me about it. And then you recount the plot in pretty excruciating detail.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced you're making all of this up.
There's only one way to tell
There's
them.
no Home Alone 3 that exists
There's
like this.
only one way for you to find out.
There's no Paranormal Activity 3. There's no Human Centipede 2. You're just making up stuff
so he
and
goes
seeing how much I put up with.
one step further than the spies
and
puts a video camera on the car. He gets his hands on the RC car, right? And so now these four guys are like, oh no, it's not in the neighbor's house.
I can see you thinking this up as you speak.
It's in that little annoying kid's house. We need to go to the annoying kid. So he puts a video camera on the thing. Also puts his pet mouse on the thing.
Where's the pet mouse coming from?
I told you about the pet mouse and the parrot.
You told me about a mouse and a parrot.
There's a parrot and a mouse, right? So he puts the mouse and a video camera on the RC car. They go driving around the place. And they get up to no good and have fun and, mess with the burglars and stuff.
I feel like I'm in an improv show.
This is pure recon,
you went
right?
I just need one word from the audience. I went like, Home Alone 3. And you're like, cool, Home Alone 3, let's go. And you made all of this up.
He's doing a full-blown reconnaissance mission. He's driving the car around the streets trying to figure out what they're after. But this is where the amazing writing comes into play. His own
that you're doing right now.
His own volition of finding out what they're up to.
Yeah.
Is what causes them to find him. And then the tables turn one more time. You thought the tables had turned once. Oh no, they go 360, baby. They turn all the way back around. And now they know that he knows that they have the chip. And so they're like, oh crap, we got to come back tomorrow because it's almost 3 o'clock and mom and dad are going to be home. So then they go back home and then they plan out this super elaborate way to break in. But then he knows that they're coming for him too.
The first spies are scared that mom and dad are going to come back home?
They don't want to be caught. That's smart.
By mom and dad.
You don't become a spy by having mom and dad catch you. When you know mom and dad are coming home, if you're a good spy, you stay the at home.
Yeah, true.
All right. So, where are we? We're on day 3. Cool. So, they're coming.
We're going to take a break and come back and talk about more movies that Jishnu is not making up.
But my mojo.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another great week on IVM Podcast. If you aren't following us on social media, please make sure you do. We're IVM Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you guys want to catch Cyrus's rant on Cyrus Says Live, you can definitely check out Instagram. We kind of publish that live every time we're doing it on Tuesday afternoons. Make sure you check in for that. On Cyrus this week, actually, we had a really great guest, Roshan Abbas. Roshan talks about a wonderful career spanning radio, TV, live events, entrepreneurship, and now he's an author too. It's full of funny stories, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. On Advertising is Dead, Varun is joined by JioSaavn co-founder, president, and chief strategy officer Vinod Bhatt. He gets into details about their latest partnership with Jio, their big plans for the company in the coming year, and a whole lot more. On the 99th episode of The Seen and the Unseen, Amit is joined by lawyer and policy analyst Ameya Naik. They talk about the rules and institutions that keep populist readers in check and how they are being meddled with. Last week on the Pragati podcast, Supreme Court lawyer Ninad Lau joined host Pawan Srinath to talk about PILs, the NGT, and overall environmental governance in India. On the Echoes of India, Anirudh gives us a history of Pompeii Lakshmi, an Indian ivory statuette which was uncovered in the ancient Roman city of Pompeii. On Pulyabazi, Pranay speaks to Chinmay Tumbe, a scholar in Indian migration. They talk about the Indian community's prolific migration across the world and the phenomena of a good migrant. And with that, on with your shows.
Welcome back to the Geek Fruit Podcast. We're talking Christmas movies, and well, the fact is that Jishnu is just lying out of his ass right now with this entire plot of Home Alone 3 situation. It's total lies. You're telling me that's the actual story of this movie, and I refuse to believe you.
I did say spoiler alert.
You haven't spoiled anything. I'm sure I'll watch the movie, and it's a perfectly pleasant movie that is nothing like what you're describing.
One reason why it's arguably more Christmassy, a lot more snow play.
A lot more snow play?
A lot more...
what is snow play? Like
booby
the
traps.
ultimate Coldplay Snow Patrol mashup band?
He does things like put a trampoline above a swimming pool somehow. Yeah, the swimming pool is frozen. He puts a trampoline above it. Somehow or the other, he gets the guys to jump out of a window thinking, I'll land on the trampoline. But then they go through the trampoline into a frozen pool.
Right.
And then they freeze. And,
Die.
at some point, there's dudes getting like electric shocks and like bowling balls hitting them. But it's always outside and in the snow.
Yeah. This I could believe.
Christmas.
Cool. Fine. Acceptable. That booby trap, I can see playing out in any of the Home Alones.
But this is more Christmassy because
another
it's
way
more
Home
snowy.
Alone predicted the future, by the way, is of course that they had Donald Trump in the second one.
This is true.
He makes a cameo because apparently it's part of his contract. If you shoot in any of the Trump properties, he's got to be in the movie. And he points Kevin to the bathroom.
Yeah, down the hall to the left.
Yeah, exactly, which is appropriate because that's where he's taken the world.
Down the hall and to the left?
No, to the shitter.
Oh.
Also, one of my favorite Home Alone connections is that Dan Stern, who's... so there's Joe Pesci and Dan Stern, right?
Yes.
Dan Stern's the tall, goofy guy.
Marv.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is the narrator for The Wonder Years.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah. Daniel Stern.
Get out.
Yeah. Old Kevin.
That's...
And it is, again,
same guy?
weirdly Kevin in The Wonder Years also. But
Oh my God.
Old Kevin is that guy. You know, the guy goes
Holy
like,
hell.
but he wasn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just blew my mind.
I know, right?
Pick it up.
Pick what up?
My mind. It's all over the place.
Oh, I don't give a shit.
But I thought you were my friend.
All right. Yeah, I used to be until I realized you just straight up lie to me every episode. Okay. Next is a movie that a lot of people, there's been a lot of debate about whether it's a Christmas movie or not. So for the longest time, people go like, wow, Die Hard is my favorite. Yeah.
Forgot to mention.
Oh, no.
Guess who plays little Alex, not Kevin, Sis' older sister?
Who? Scarlett Johansson.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
That was a completely random
Did you
guess.
seriously just guess that?
Yeah.
Wow. Well
What?
done.
It's the first name I could think of. Is it actually Scarlett Johansson?
It is. She was like 13 or something.
Holy shit.
Well done.
That's kind of nuts.
Yep.
I knew she was a kid actress, but I forgot she was in a Home Alone.
Yeah.
That is so weird.
Yep.
Is she barely in the movie though? Because
Barely.
it's him Home Alone.
She's the snarky middle child.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Like the oldest one is the one that's like, dude, he's the one that owns the parrot.
Right.
The aforementioned parrot.
Yeah. And his best friend is a mouse. Whatever.
And he's got that classic buzz cut. He's a redhead. He beats up his baby brother. Scarlett Johansson's like I'm too cool for you kids. I'm like the middle one who's like
right.
annoyingly just like always right.
Yeah,
But
smarter than everyone
smarter
else.
than everybody else. I mean, she is a spy as well. So like
Yeah.
she probably learned her moves from... Hey.
Do you think Home
Full
Alone
circle.
3 is the Black Widow origin movie?
She does have the same haircut as she does in Winter Soldier.
And there is a lot of like spy talk and futuristic gadgets and like a lot of intrigue and subterfuge. So yeah, that probably is it. They should just change the title sequence and put it out. Go like, well, here's your Black Widow movie that you keep asking for. But
You were saying?
yes, there's been a movement of late where people go like, my favorite Christmas movie is Die Hard. Then there was another movement where people are like, don't make it a Christmas movie just because you want to be cool and hipstery and say, yeah, my Christmas movie isn't even a Christmas movie. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. And then people argue back where they said like, no, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. And I was talking to you about this and saying, should we talk about it? And you told me you haven't seen Die Hard.
Yeah.
Isn't this strange?
It is.
How?
There are a lot of movies in the world.
That's true.
And when I find a good one, I might just watch that.
Like Home Alone 3.
Like Home Alone 3.
Or the second Human Centipede.
I've only seen that once.
Only
once. I couldn't stomach it beyond that.
Yeah, once too many.
Once I saw the baby's head being crushed underneath the accelerator pedal,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that'll last me for the next 20 years.
You told me about this once on this very show.
Do you want to hear it again?
No,
Okay.
I tried my best to put it out of my mind, and you just made me recall it. It's still surprising to me that you haven't seen any of the Die Hards. When you've seen all of the Paranormal Activities.
I mean, I have priorities, man. Somebody has to see them.
Yeah.
Look, there are enough people out there, like right now, you can talk about Die Hard, and I'm sure our lovely listeners are appreciative, and
I think Die Hard is
but I think that there are plenty of people that haven't seen Paranormal Activity, and that the world needs to know. That's what I am there for.
and that's the service you offer
That
them.
is the service I am.
Or you can
offering.
just make up a plot and tell us it's Paranormal Activity, and we believe you, which is what I've done all this time. Anyway, Die Hard, according to me, not a Christmas movie. It's a great movie. And it's set at Christmas, but it's not Christmassy enough.
Does it climax at Christmas or New Year's?
No, like it's all set in, was it Christmas Eve or Christmas time?
Sure.
Right?
Is there a tree that features in the final act?
No, not really.
Is there a Santa
all
Claus?
There's no Santa Claus.
Is there a gift giving?
Well, the gift of bullets? I
Is there
suppose.
is there mistletoe?
No, there's snow. Is the best I can say about it.
All right, Empire Strikes Back, I guess, is a Christmas movie then.
I wonder, why is
Why
there
is it
snow
not?
there? Right?
Why is there snow there?
Yeah.
I mean, because the planet put the snow there, or the snow put the planet there, or George put the planet with snow there.
Okay, fair enough. Whatever. There is snow in The Force Awakens also.
This is true.
Yeah. Surprising. I never realized that there were snow planets. Okay.
What?
Yeah, my bad. Let's get back to Die Hard.
Wow.
Whatever, you haven't seen Die Hard.
That's a revelation.
I had a blank moment. Okay. Die Hard, not a Christmas movie,
Okay.
but a great movie nonetheless.
So then why are we talking about it?
Well, I just wanted to cover the fact that some people think it's a Christmas movie and I wanted to put them in their place.
Okay.
Now let's discuss the other Christmassy movies on our list.
Okay.
Another action movie star who did a Christmassy movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger with Jingle All the Way.
And
Have you seen that?
I have. However,
Huh.
I was 5.
I
Like
mean,
most of these movies, most Christmas movies, like I said, I haven't seen since I was like a kid.
Yeah, even I haven't seen Jingle All the Way since I was a kid, but I remember having a pretty great time. It's basically Home Alone, but with like an adult. The story is that there is this one toy that everyone has to get for their kid.
Right, the action, what's it called? Action Man? Or something like that?
Yeah, something like
Turbo Man.
Turbo Man, is
Turbo
it?
Man. He basically looks like the Flash.
Yes,
He's just
exactly.
like red head to toe with like some, does he have lightning bolts? Or like some kind of yellow?
Oh, I can't picture the action figure that
he's
clearly.
got something on him.
But yeah, basically it's Arnold Schwarzenegger on a mad hunt to get this last Christmas toy for his kid because he missed the deadline. And of course there's a touching message at the end where it's not about the toy and it's about celebrating Christmas, but also he gets the toy.
Right.
Yeah. And the rest of it is literally just fun slapsticky stuff.
Yeah.
It was refreshing because it was Arnold doing something that he didn't usually do at that time, right? If I remember correctly, you'd always think of him as an actiony guy.
Right.
And he was genuinely goofy.
That was around the time when he did, what's the one with Danny DeVito?
9 months. Where he gets pregnant?
Is that called 9 months? That was called Junior.
Oh.
Or Twins?
Twins? Yeah, it might have been twins.
I don't know.
You're right, yeah. He was
Something like that.
He was in a why don't I try comedy phase.
Yeah. Which
Before
I
his-
enjoyed.
Yeah.
Him and Sly. With
What comedy did Sly
Stop,
do?
or my mom will shoot. And stop, or my mom will shoot. Too.
Those were with also Danny DeVito, is this correct?
Were they?
I don't know. I haven't seen either of them. But
Oh, they were so fun.
Yeah?
I mean, they were like on Star movies like constantly.
Really?
Yeah.
Stop or my mom will shoot.
It's him and a hilarious New York grandma.
Right.
It's great. It's Sylvester Stallone playing a cop who somehow, I think his mom is coming to visit, and his mom just like inevitably gets like caught up in whatever, some drug related mission that he's on, and his mom gets a gun at some point, and it's basically, it's Ride Along. Remember that Kevin Hart movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that nobody ever watched?
Yeah.
It's Ride Along, but with Sylvester Stallone and a grandmother.
Whoa.
So I would say a superior movie. even
I
though haven't
can't
seen
I
Ride
can't
Along.
imagine Sylvester Stallone doing anything funny.
I swear I'm not making this
How
up.
can he make
it was
a
so
comedic
good.
face?
It was so good. He just has to open his mouth. Hey, stop! Or my mom will shoot. Mom, put down the gun. Oh, God. I guess we gotta put down the gun. My mom's gonna shoot.
Yeah.
Right?
Thank you, Jishnu. That is your gift to me. A solid Sly impression.
Do you know what the second movie's plot was?
No?
Hey, stop! Oh no, my mom's still here. She's gonna shoot again. That's. I swear I'm not making this up. Nothing I've said today is a lie.
Everything.
Nothing I've said today is a lie.
Jishnu. Why do you do this to me?
Here's another movie that I have not seen, which is very. I should be flogged for, apparently.
Yeah.
Elf.
What?
Yeah.
Elf is such a good movie, Vishnu, and it's kind of right in our wheelhouse. It's about Will Ferrell-sized man who is an elf, who is just flummoxed by the real world once he falls into it. It's a great movie. It's one of the nicest things you'll see. Also, it's got a lovely performance of Baby It's Cold Outside, if I remember correctly, with Zoe and Will singing. One of my...
Isn't that the song that everybody's really upset today? That it is still a big Christmas hit?
Oh yeah, it's always been a very creepy song.
Yeah.
She, there's literally stuff about him putting stuff in her drinks and whatnot.
What are the lines? Can you sing it?
She goes like, hey, what's in this drink? It's like, baby, don't worry about it. Something like that.
Wow, that was very direct and to the point.
Yeah, and the weird thing is it's kind of whispered. So, it starts out with her going like, I should call a cab. And he's like, but baby, it's cold outside. And eventually it just gets like, hey, what's in this drink? So, yeah, I get why people are upset. But still, that movie is very sweet. You should definitely watch it. It's one of Will Ferrell's nicest performances. The amazing thing about that man in particular is that even his most outright comedic roles, there's this a little bit of sadness to them. Like even Anchorman, which is an outright goofy, stupid movie, right? There's a bit of a pathos to the Anchorman character where he's a sweet guy who's deluded, which is pretty much Elf, but in a nicer way. I feel like this is common across all Will Ferrell characters. Even like a Dewey Cox, for that matter, is... Oh wait, no, that was John C. Reilly.
I was going to say, that didn't ring a bell.
Almost the same. But yeah, that was John C. Reilly. But yeah, basically, Will Ferrell adjacent stuff. These guys have a gift for doing really funny stuff and making it slightly sad, which to me is very Christmassy. A lot of joy and a hint of bittersweet.
Have you seen the Tim Allen one?
The Santa Claus with an E?
Yes.
I have, though I don't recall it too much. I
never got that joke.
That it was the Santa Claus?
Wow.
That's the entire premise of the movie.
My mind is all over this room today.
For those who haven't seen it, basically the story is that Tim Allen's character ends up killing Santa Claus by mistake. Like Santa's on his roof and he falls off or something, right?
Because he pushes him.
I don't remember, but Tim Allen does something that loosens the shingle or something like that, and Santa falls off and he's dying.
Yeah.
And Tim Allen is like, oh shit, I killed Santa. And Santa's like, there's a clause in the contract for Santas that say, if you kill a Santa, you're the Santa now. So Tim Allen becomes Santa.
What if Santa commits suicide?
Why would he?
I mean, it's a hard job.
It's a pretty hard job.
It's a lonely life.
There is Mrs. Claus.
There is Mrs. Claus.
There's Rudolph.
But we never see her. I
mean, Dasher and Dancer and Vixen and Prancer.
And Vixen.
Isn't Vixen one of the reindeer?
Blitzen, sir.
Blitzen?
Yeah, Vixen is a little adult.
a sexy reindeer. What's wrong with that?
Have you heard that since
Blitzen, you might be right, yeah.
Since
you always only hear them in rhyme. So, Dasher and Dancer and Blitzen and Prancer? One of them's Prancer, come on.
Yeah, I think so.
Give me a Prancer.
Yeah, take a Prancer. Okay. But anywho, yeah, so that movie. My favorite thing about that, just the progression of Tim Allen's beard. Do you know how as it gets closer...
I don't remember that.
As it gets closer to D-Day...
Oh, he starts getting a white puffy beard?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I barely remember this movie.
Yeah.
Though it is a pretty great premise if you think about it.
Oh, it's a solid one.
Yeah.
He just begrudgingly has to be like, oh crap, I gotta do this job now. I forget how it ends. I'm gonna guess it ends happily ever after.
Of course.
Something like that.
Happily
ever after. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I know there's a Santa Claus 2, which I also haven't seen.
This is true.
You want to go ahead and make up a story for that?
So, no, I won't, because I only tell the truth.
Okay, tell me something, Jishnu. I've been wondering while we've been discussing all these movies. A lot of them are from
a while ago.
Yeah, a while ago, right? Yep. Are there modern Christmas classics?
Modern classic? I think Time is what you need to be a classic, right? There are very few that like is a classic.
I suppose so, but I mean, like, I knew Love Actually was going to be like a iconic movie when I saw it, right?
Oh,
did you not? I mean, I didn't think I'd be watching it 10 years later every year,
right?
But you know that it's
sure, okay. I get,
like instant classic is a thing.
True.
So I don't mean classic in like the stood the test of time sense. I just mean what is a Christmas thing from the recent couple of years that will stick around. I don't even know if people make that much Christmassy stuff anymore.
Well, that being said, Kurt Russell is just about to release one, or just I think it should be out by the time this episode comes out. Kurt Russell just put out a Netflix movie,
right?
Where of course he plays Santa.
Of course.
So I think he just took his ego character role.
He just has to like get the beard a little whiter, and he's good.
Not even that much whiter.
Yeah.
But no, so there is a new one. It is called. The name is Christmas Chronicles.
Christmas Chronicles. What's that about?
It's a brand new one. I don't know. Something to do with Santa and Kurt Russell. I mean, how much more do you need to like? Do you want to know about a Christmas movie going into it?
Sounds like a bunch of short story-ish things. Chronicles, right?
That is a great point. Maybe I should have actually found out what this movie was about, other than
there was, I think last year or 2 years ago, there was a Bill Murray Christmas special on Netflix again.
Was there? That's something I was thinking about just last night.
Yeah, a very Bill Murray Christmas.
I was like, there has to be a Bill Murray Christmas movie.
It seems like it was tailor-made for him, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's basically a variety show. You know, it's like one of your...
It's just a bunch of sketches that are Christmas themed?
It's a mix of sketches. There's some like pretty straightforward musical performances.
Oh.
Miley Cyrus is in it, hanging out with Bill Murray. Yeah.
Oh, I remember this. This was like a big... I mean, obviously it's Bill Murray, so it's going to make a lot of noise. But it was a big thing, right? Because of like the
weird collection of people he gets on. Yeah, it's nice. It's nothing to write. It's not the most memorable.
Okay.
But it's pleasant. It's one of those like atmospheric things like we were talking about at the start of this episode. Like how a talk show will have lights. This is just like what if Bill Murray had like 45 minutes to kill with a Christmassy thing. Nothing great. Pretty nice though.
Fair play. Well, two last things I want to talk about.
Tell us.
One is a recommendation of a movie from 1964.
Okay.
Purely just based on the name alone. I would be surprised if anybody's seen this movie because I'd never heard of it. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
Wow. I'm sold.
It's got a 2.6 on IMDb and 24% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Good Lord. From 1964? That's harsh.
Here we go. Martian ruler Kimar is upset that the children of Mars are lazy and under the influence of too much pop culture from Earth.
Oh.
They're obsessed with the planet's television programs and don't want to do much of anything. In an attempt to get the kids peppy again, Kimar orders the kidnapping of Santa Claus, hoping that the jolly old toy maker will know how to cheer the children up again. But 2 Earth children are also kidnapped. This complicates things.
That sounds amazing. How can this be just 26%? First of all, in 1964, people were already worried about the effects of television on young children's minds. On Mars, at that. I love this movie. I think we should seek it out.
Yep.
We should do a marathon of Die Hard, Santa Claus versus the Martians. What's it called again? Conquers the Martians.
Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
Here's our day, Jishnu. Die Hard, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, Die Hard 2.
How many Die Hards are there?
Oh, there's like 5 at this point, I think. Yeah.
Isn't there like there a new one potentially happening?
I don't know if that's still happening or not.
Take that. It's next 5 years.
Die Hard 1, great. Die Hard 2, great. Die Hard 3, I don't recall much, but it was okay. Die Hard 4 is weirdly fun. It's also got... that's when Justin Long's character comes in.
Justin Long.
Yeah. Dude,
What
Die Hard
happened to
4
that
has
guy?
one sequence where they shoot down a helicopter by launching a jeep at it.
Wow,
it's pretty awesome.
That'll work. That'll do it.
It was one of the few moments I remember genuinely being like shaken while watching the movie in the theater. And people around, like, nobody expected Die Hard 4 to be good. But I was watching it in the theater in Pune and everybody was like, okay. Fun, cool action sequence, and then this piece happens. It's as big a set piece as the giant truck flipping over in Dark Knight. People literally just stood up and started clapping. They were like, "We have never seen anything like this." Tell me the second thing you want to talk
about. I feel like it's been a minute since we've talked about U2.
Of course.
So, do you remember their, I think 2007, 2008 Christmas song?
What was it?
It's a cover of...
Christmas Baby Please Come Home?
Nope. They
have done that.
They have done that.
Yeah.
It was one they did for the Red campaign when like Red just started.
Oh,
What was it called?
a cover.
Yeah.
They've
God
done
damn
a
it.
bunch of Christmassy things over the years, haven't they? They've been like one-off singles and stuff.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Damn it. It goes like, I wish you a hopeful Christmas. I wish you a brand new year.
That sounds familiar,
God
but I don't
damn
know
it.
the song.
It's one of those. It's one of those. I swear. It's like it's an old like one of those folk songs, like a traditional one.
Yeah.
But with obviously like 16-note delayed repeats and
Of course.
stuff like that.
The
quite epic.
U2ing of
Yeah,
it all.
the U-doing of it all. It was great.
Nice.
I should clearly look this up more
Yeah.
because I haven't heard it in a minute, and I just remember how much I loved it. But I guess I didn't love it that much if I can't remember it.
I guess not.
I have regrets now.
But tell me this. Let's close on this note. Give us a couple of your favorite Christmassy songs. Like a Hey Jesus. You got none? What about like Santa Baby? Which,
Meh.
another very creepy song.
Yeah?
Is this lady just seducing Santa? He was like, Santa Baby. It's really creepy.
Well, when you put it like that, is that one
that's
of your
how-
favorite ones?
That's how Kylie Minogue sang it. So it's on her.
Is that one of your favorite songs?
Another creepy song is I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus.
What?
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
How do you not know that?
How does it go?
I mean, I can't sing it. It's like a talky kind of song, but it's basically about how the kid sees mommy kissing Santa Claus, which is obviously the dad dressed as Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
But for the kid, a weird experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why do you make a song about that?
Who's this by?
It's one of those like Christmas classics that's covered all over all the time.
Oh, so like in that Sinatra space.
Yes, I don't think it was Sinatra. I know there's a Mariah Carey version.
Of course there is.
She, of course, does does she still put out that annual Christmas album of hers?
Probably.
I'll tell you my favorite ones. I enjoy Christmas Time Is Here Again. It's great. The John Lennon.
Mm-hmm.
And there is this one particular 30 Rock episode with Jack and his mother, where actually one of I should have talked about this in the episode. Well, it is still the episode. But the episode is basically
hasn't gone
about how Jack hates his mom, obviously, though he also loves her. There's a very complicated relationship between them. And he always felt like his mom was very withholding. And he's telling Liz Lemon about his complicated associations of Christmas with her. And he would talk about how she'd always call this one guy over and they'd disappear off into a room. And he knew that they were probably having sex. And he was like, well, I'm a kid here and I'm trying to celebrate Christmas. Why would you do that, Mom? And he says that gentleman's name was F.A.O. Schwartz. And Liz Lemon is like, you mean the guy from the toy store? And he's like, what? And Liz is like, yeah. I think your mom was sleeping with the guy just to get you toys because you guys were poor. And Jack is like, we always had so many toys. You could never even see the tree. And he has this eye-opening moment. And the episode ends with the two of them performing this one Christmassy song on the piano with both of them playing. It's one of the sweetest things that show has ever done. And that's a show that's done a lot of sweet things.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I was going to say, my only contender in this ring of Christmas songs. It's not a Christmas song, but it does start with a Christmas song.
What? It starts with a Christmas song, but it's not a Christmas song?
River by Joni Mitchell.
How does
it starts with the tune of Jingle Bells.
Oh.
Da, 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 da. So it's a Christmas song for 10 seconds, and then it's just a beautiful song, which has nothing to do with Christmas, but it counts because it features in Christmas movies, just because of the opening 10 seconds.
Yeah, true. Fair enough.
If it works for them, it works for me.
Well, I mean, that's what we've done this episode. We've taken Christmas and
Destroyed it
around it.
We have destroyed Christmas.
I think Christmas will survive.
Let's call it what it is.
All right. This has been the Geek Fruit Podcast. Tell us about your favorite Christmas movies and songs and literally any Christmassy thing that you like. You can reach out to us at GeekFruitHQ on all the socials and contact geekfruit@gmail.com on the emails. Bye, you nerds.
Family businesses get a bad rap. At one time, they were looked down on for getting rich, for being too ambitious. Today, they're still looked down on, but for not being ambitious enough. Not agile enough, not modern enough, too traditional in their mindset. The biggest brands and business houses in the country started out as humble family businesses. It's the way India has done business. Join Sonu Bhasin in conversation with stalwarts of Indian family businesses on the Inheritors podcast series by Bloomberg Quint. Discuss the highs and lows, the needs and pressure points of building a business legacy that spans generations.
Advertising is dead. Yep, you heard me right. Advertising is dead. We're all in the content business now. Let's not call it news, TV, radio, etc., etc. It's all content, and we're in the middle of this weirdly exciting phase where all the borders and lines that have been drawn over decades has been swept away by this lovely thing called the internet. We're a show where we don't dwell on just the stuff that is now, but rather the wider stuff about advertising, media, content, and the whole goddamn circus surrounding it. Tune in every Tuesday for our weekly unboxing of the mystery box we used to call advertising. I'm Varun Dugirala, co-founder and content chief at The Glitch, and this is my new podcast, Advertising is Dead.